Hey guys, Dan here with Pain for You. Shooting inside today. It's raining, and I have a comment or a question that somebody posted on one of my videos. She said, Dan, thank you for your work. I have two questions which perhaps you could answer in a video. So here we go. It seems that stress at work ultimately should not influence our TMS pain. We should be free to do anything. I'm a life coach and find myself often affected by people's stories, literally feeling as if my head was about to burst from brain tension. As an empathic coach yourself, working with people in pain, how do you handle this? How do you protect yourself from the stories you hear? And number two, very much related, how do you stop empathically taking on other people's symptoms? I've taken on low back pain and neck pain from my past life partners, and I recently met someone with knee issues and developed knee pain shortly thereafter. Your insight is greatly appreciated. Blessings. So I wanted to read that so you guys could get a sense as to the question. And I will tell you this. Everything about the question and or what is occurring seems to be driven by the fear that being empathic is dangerous. I feel their emotions, so now I'm feeling their pain. And I'm not in any way diminishing that. And that may very well be her experience so far. And I'm sure it is the experience of many people. As I've said before, I think I did a video over a year ago that said symptoms are contagious. And that's one of the reasons why in my Facebook group, I encourage people not to, kind of spew out all of their symptoms and horror stories, because one comment looking for feedback can absolutely trigger a whole bunch of other people, because symptoms are contagious. And why is that? Because fear is contagious. Fear drives the TMS process. So I will encourage this person to not assume that being empathic is dangerous and that you have to protect yourself. She actually used those phrases. How do you protect yourself? Right? By hearing everybody else's stories. Let me answer personally for myself. I am not afraid of TMS. I am not afraid of emotions causing symptoms. I simply have become the type of person that says, I can hear the most horrible horror stories. I can be FaceTiming, video calls with some people in some of the most excruciating pain. And I'm very empathic, and I'm very sympathetic to their symptoms. But I never catch these symptoms. They're not contagious for me. And I absolutely believe that has to do with the amount of fear surrounding it. Look, and I'm not debating, this woman may have experienced a situation where she picked up somebody else's symptoms or feels very strongly about somebody's life situation and feels the overwhelming emotions. And as a result, in some cases, gets symptoms, TMS symptoms. So it's all driven by fear. I will say that people who are empaths believe they're more sympathetic, more in touch with other people's situations, that they are able to almost experience from the other person's perspective. I will tell you that all human beings have that ability. You ever walk into a room and there's a party, and over in one corner there's somebody very gregarious and enjoying themselves and laughing, and you can feel that energy, and it makes you want to hang out with them. Then over in the other corner there's somebody who's kind of brooding and dark and looking really ugly, and you can feel that energy, you can feel those emotions just simply by walking in the room. So we're all empaths to a degree. What I would encourage this person and anybody else who feels like they can't be around other people who have problems because then they take on those problems is to just decide that emotions are not dangerous. right? How do we learn that? We teach ourselves that through feeling them, right? That's one of the steps in the things I teach all the time. Feel your emotions. But don't decide in advance that other people's emotions are dangerous to you because you're an empath. Again, I believe that most people are empathic and can feel and experience what other people are going through. But it doesn't mean you have to take on the symptoms. So if you can kind of strip away the expectation that I'm going to catch somebody else's symptoms from them, right? If you can take away that expectation and the fear of that happening, TMS doesn't really have anything fueling it to buy into. So fear and attention. And let's say something like this does happen. You know, she said towards the end, I met someone recently with knee issues and developed knee pain shortly thereafter. My recommendation is no different than anybody who got TMS for any other reason. Same type of approach holds true. Know that it's TMS. Do the assessment, right? Hey, if this just came out by hearing about it, there's no other explanation that makes sense other than TMS. Feel your emotions, what's going on. Soothe your body. Calm down your thinking, meaning stop freaking out that, oh my God, I'm going to get knee pain now because this person has it. That's not necessarily true. And even if it does happen, how you respond to that is absolutely going to determine how long this new symptom that you've inherited from somebody else, how long that new symptom sticks around, right? Because if you can respond to it with indifference, like, that's no big deal, I know what's going on. Oh my God, I just had a client who had migraine headaches, and all of a sudden I wake up today with a headache. No big deal, right? It's almost, well, first of all, it's fascinating. It's evidence of TMS in play, because with fear and the expectation, you get a symptom. My suggestion would be to kind of chuckle at it. I know it's hard to think about chuckling at something that's, you know, a painful sensation. But really, when you look at how ridiculous some of this stuff can behave, it's fascinating. And if you can look at it with that view of fascination, not afraid, be indifferent, and then I guess really just, you know, move on with your day. Try not to give it any more attention than it warrants. And in my opinion, when you notice a new symptom, especially one that you believe you caught from a client or a friend or somebody, or even by reading a Facebook post, simply kind of laugh at it and go, wow, the brain is highly suggestible. This is clearly TMS and this expectation, this fear-based stuff at work. And so I'm not going to give it any more thought or worry or fear, because the more you freak out that you just caught a new symptom, the more you're fueling that symptom, and the longer it's going to stick around. So I think that's really it. Don't decide in advance that being an empath is dangerous. Yes, you may feel the emotions, but once you understand TMS, you can also decide in advance that feeling somebody else's emotions, being sympathetic and empathetic, does not have to create these symptoms in you. And if they do, you know what to do about it. The same exact process that I recommend for TMS is what I recommend if you catch the symptoms from somebody else. So the solution is always the same. Know it's TMS, you know, feel your emotions, soothe your body, get out of the stress response, calm down your thinking, don't catastrophize that, oh my God, now I've got another new symptom or two. Be indifferent, or as close as you can get to that. And if you can't be indifferent, at least choose your response. Nice, cool, calm, relaxed. It's all right, Dan, you're going to be okay, right? And then shift your attention back to life, back to the client, if you're still in a call with them, or back to whatever else you were doing. The key is don't panic, because this is not a life-threatening situation. This is just a manifestation of the brain at work. And yeah, symptoms can be contagious, but they don't have to stick around. They don't have to become chronic. Your fear and attention on them may turn them chronic, but that's nothing more than a learned neural pathway. So the less attention you give it, the less fear you give it, the less likely it is that those neural connections are going to stick. So hopefully that made sense. Thank you to the young lady who asked the question. And love you guys and gals. We'll see you tomorrow.